Hey guys, and welcome to my new living quarters here in the Beyond the Summit studio. As most of you have probably figured out by now, as it's been on Reddit and a multitude of websites all over Twitter, I'm officially now a member of the Beyond the Summit studio. Been quiet over the past really 2 weeks or so since it's been quote-unquote official, at least behind the scenes, that I'd be joining Beyond the Summit as a full-time broadcaster and show host here in our new studio. So I've been trying to lay low a little bit. I've gotten a lot of emails from people asking what's going on with Dota Radio, how come you haven't been casting, why didn't you go to the Star Ladder LAN finals, and the reason for that was I was gearing up to move across the country from New Jersey to LA, and of course with that the insanely long road trip of a good 45 hours or so behind the wheel, making it out from South Jersey here to bright and sunny LA. So I just wanted to do a quick vlog here, and show you guys my new space. I've already got my Dazzle hung up, as you can see. Priorities here. Actually, just got my mattress arrived this morning, so that's good news. I've been sleeping on the floor, so finally have a real bed. Getting my space set up here. I still have to hang up all my little pieces of Dota artwork, my canvases and whatnot. Still haven't unwrapped everything. But it's been great to be here. I'm glad that the announcement is finally official, so we can talk about the future, some of the stuff I'm going to be working on beyond the summit, and of course what this means for Dota Radio. So let's kind of go down the checklist here. I am going to be recording a podcast coming up either later today or tomorrow, talking in more detail about my road trip across the country and an array of other things pretty normal to the Zyori podcast. It's going to be a good one. I have a lot to say, so a lot of interesting things as I trekked across the country by myself. So the big thing with this BTS Zyori hiring is, what does this mean for Dota Radio? What does this mean for Zyori TV? People were tweeting me asking, and it doesn't mean a whole lot for Zyori TV in particular. As of late, that website is pretty much turned into a portfolio site about myself, and it's going to continue to do so. I'm going to keep the Zyori.tv domain. It's going to be the place where I house my blog, my various other pieces of literature that are not related to esports, my podcast, and then of course there's the video archive. There's the VOD section that has most of the videos that I've done or had a hand in, and they're archived in a nice graphic way. It makes it a little bit easier than YouTube, and it's cross-platform and all that stuff. So that's pretty much going to be the extent of Zyori.tv. It's not going to be a platform or anything else like I sort of had tentatively planned in the past. Going to take it back to a portfolio site. It's actually in pretty good shape. I'm going through and redoing some of the About sections and adding Beyond the Summit to everything, so there may be some changes around my social media and all that stuff. And speaking of that, my Twitter tag is actually going to stay the same. Not going to be BTS Zyori. I'm still going to stay at Zyori TV, just FYI, as some people were also asking me about that. Now, the big thing is Dota Radio. And Dota Radio started off with a bang in Star Ladder Season 7, and then, of course, Star Ladder Season 8, I was casting on Beyond the Summit with Hippie Sum, and then Dota Radio just kind of hasn't been doing much. And for a while, I was hoping that we would kind of revamp Dota Radio and, you know, bundle it with Beyond the Summit and all that kind of stuff, and I don't know that we're going to be doing that. Nothing is official yet, but Dota Radio and Beyond the Summit are not necessarily two things that'll work in a symbiotic relationship. When we started Dota Radio, one of the things I had always said, especially to Chris, was that there's one stream in particular that I don't want to compete with, and that is Beyond the Summit, because their casters do have a little bit more of a descriptive nature, and I think you could get away with just listening to a Beyond the Summit stream compared to some of the other casters out there that we were sort of competing against, so to speak. Of course, Beyond the Summit was not covering Star Ladder Season 7 when we started. We had the inception for the idea of Dota Radio. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly what we're going to do with that website, but most, if not all of my efforts are going towards Beyond the Summit. We may try and bundle an audio-only stream with the Beyond the Summit stream. One of the issues with that, though, is not everyone that broadcasts on Beyond the Summit is actually in the studio and can run the audio-only software. And it's one of those things, is this going to end up being more effort than it's worth, or is it going to end up being easy and just a nice feature that we can add to Beyond the Summit? We haven't decided completely yet, but it seems like Dota Radio is probably just going to stay inactive, at least for the next month or so. Other folks have been asking about what I'm actually going to be doing at Beyond the Summit, as I've seen in that Reddit thread, and same old thing, going to be one of the lead casters. Of course, here at Beyond the Summit, we don't really have lead casters. Everyone is a lead caster, so I'll be casting an equal share as the others, and I'll also be a show host. One of the things that Beyond the Summit wants to do in 2014 is start mixing in more show content alongside the play-by-play commentary and stuff. So that's one of the roles that I'm going to fill. I'm going to play show host a bit. We still haven't decided on what kind of shows we're going to be doing exactly. Of course, we have a lot of ideas, but we haven't boiled it down to a very clean, concise show A, show B, show C, and all that kind of stuff. We're still getting organized with all of those thoughts. And that one step further, we can take it to the Dota Radio morning show. That is the one last project that I had been working on before we took our break in January, and then we've had this sort of mysterious, unannounced break where we've been revamping stuff sort of at the mercy of my moving was still a secret, so we couldn't really say exactly what we were doing and why we were so inactive. And of course, Charlie is still traveling around as well. The Dota Radio Morning Show is not going away, but I can't promise that it will return in its exact same form. That was one of the things that Beyond the Summit really liked about me as a caster, was beyond that my ability as just a caster, but also as a show host. They liked what we were doing with the Dota Radio Morning Show, and I want to try and incorporate that into Beyond the Summit. And again, we still haven't finalized the details if it's still going to be called the Dota Radio Morning Show, if it'll be the BTS Morning Show, if it will even be a morning show now that we're on a different time zone. All that stuff still sort of up in the air as we're continuing to construct the studio and get things put together. So not a huge amount of definitive. We're going to be doing A, B, and C in the next couple weeks as we're still getting organized, still getting used to having new roommates, and got to meet K-Pop Tosis the other day. Brian, a fun guy. It's been a blast so far. So I just wanted to record a quick vlog and update you guys on what's going on, give you a little sneak peek of my new bedroom here, and just share the excitement that I'm so pumped up here for to be working with Beyond the Summit full time. It's really amazing. For so long, I have been kind of a one-man show. I've been the guy on top, and by one-man show, I mean if I don't do it, it doesn't get done, or unless I specifically give that task to someone else. I've always sort of been, with my Zyori TV projects and the other stuff I've worked on, kind of the guy in charge, and it's been hard at times when I wish I had a team that I could really bounce ideas off of when that team has been non-existent. That is an issue no longer. Now we have a team of very proactive individuals. Everyone here is very involved in Dota, very excited, very passionate. So it's great to be surrounded by a group of other passionate and dedicated individuals. So a lot of big stuff going to be coming up in 2014 here on Beyond the Summit. A lot of it still under wraps, so I'm going to have to continue with the mysterious announcement of an announcement here. But it's going to be a big year, guys. We're still working on the studio. It should be up and running in the very near future. Things are coming along nicely, so it's going to be exciting. Until next time, though, guys. Oh, and I'm getting a phone call here as well. So I think that wraps it up, though. Like I said, there is going to be a Zyori podcast coming out either today or tomorrow, and then I have some other content that I'm going to get started on. In the interim here, while we don't have a lot of content to cast, while Starladder is on hiatus until the next season starts, all that stuff, I may be streaming a little bit now that I've finally got my computer set up, so I may be streaming some Dota here from my bedroom, and I will at least be much more active than I have been over the past 2 weeks as I've been sworn to secrecy. So until next time, guys, be kind to yourselves and be kind to each other. We'll see you on another cast.